Single parenting can feel like a solo journey, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing MomFlex app, the ultimate village web app designed just for you. From financial support to community connections, MomFlex app offers a lifeline, helping you navigate parenting with confidence. Find trusted resources, build your support network, and thrive, because every parent deserves a village. Join the movement today. Visit momflex.org to install the app and take the first step toward a stronger, more supported you.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We feel you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. Stories of triumph, stories of grace. Single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. We push through the stigma, defy every step. They don't define us, and that's a fact. A village of love, a future so bright. Hand in hand, we own our life. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. The journey is tough, but we're not alone. In this village we found our home. So lift your head, let your spirit fly. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive.
Welcome back to Beyond the Struggle, Rise and Thrive, the podcast that reminds single parents that you are not just surviving, you are rebuilding, redefining, and rising stronger every single day. I'm your host, LaFortune, and before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to say thank you, because your support, your shares, your messages, this podcast has reached 2,300 downloads. That means our stories, our struggles, and our moments of triumph are resonating with parents everywhere. And that's exactly what this space is about. Real conversations that reminds you you are never alone. Today, we are opening up a topic that hits close to home for so many families. Raising neurodiverse kids. How to stay calm, connected, and confident. If you are a single parent raising a child who's autistic, has ADHD, is highly sensitive, or simply experiences the world differently, you already know that love has never been the issue. You love deeply, you advocate fiercely, but sometimes it's the exhaustion, the self-doubt, and the relentless pressure to do it all that slowly wears you down. Between appointments, school meetings, and those emotional highs and lows, it can feel like there is no space left to simply breathe, let alone feel calm or confident in your parenting. But here's the truth. You don't know. You can find calm in the chaos. You can stay grounded even when the day feels overwhelming. And you can build a connection with your child that's rooted not just in survival, but in understanding, in patience, growth. That's why I'm so excited today. for today's guest. Joining me is Melissa Schultz, MSBC.BA, a parenting coach and board-certified behavior analyst who specializes in helping parents of strong-willed, highly sensitive, and neurodiverse children transform daily struggles into moments of connection, confidence, and calm. Melissa has worked with countless families navigating the unique challenges of raising kids who don't always fit into society boxes. And she does it with such compassion, humor, and wisdom. Melissa, welcome to Beyond the Struggle. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here. And that was the most beautiful introduction. And I just love listening to your voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you. So let's start by letting you explain what neurodiverse really means and why understanding it is so important to parents.
So my specialty is helping kids that are strong-willed, highly sensitive, and neurodiverse. And all of these kids just tend to experience the world a little bit differently, have much bigger emotions about things, and have more behavior challenges.
Yeah.
So the term neurodiverse kind of stands for a lot of different diagnoses of kids that just process the world, the environment differently than the typical person. And I know a podcast, but whenever I say typical, I always have to put quotation marks around it because I don't think I'm actually typical, although I am neurotypical. But yeah, so it doesn't.
Don't we all do in some way or fashion?
Weird. Yeah, I don't.
I think we are all weird in some ways, right? We have our own ways of being weird. So,
but some of the diagnoses that people are more familiar with that fall under that neurodiverse category would be autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, also dyslexia. There's a lot more that are maybe less well known that fall into that. But it's really just kids whose brain works differently. They process the world differently than a typical person. And so that can, typical parenting strategies, typical education, a lot of that doesn't work for these kids since their brain works a little bit differently. So that's where I come in, is really helping families know exactly the best way to work with their child.
So, Melissa, I would say many single parents feel overwhelmed by the daily challenges of raising a neurodiverse child. What are some common misconceptions people have about neurodiverse children and their parents?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them. I think some of the misconceptions, maybe just in general, is that when a child is having a lot of behavior issues, I think our culture just tends to blame the parent or think that the kid is bad. There's so much built-in shame.
Correct.
And that's not, that drives me crazy. That's not okay. Some of these kids are just having a hard time because they're having a hard time. I have 3 kids myself, and 2 of my kids are neurodiverse. And none of my kids are perfect, well-behaved little robots, even though this is what I've, done the last 20 years. And 2 of them just have a harder time because the world is not really set up for the way their brain works.
Yeah.
And so you would not know that by looking at either of my kids. So I think that is a really big part. And then especially if you are a single parent or maybe just have less support in general, you might be feeling, maybe carrying some guilt about that, or just feeling like all of the guilt and pressure is on you, which I think can compound it to make it even more overwhelming.
It's crazy you say that, because my son and my last daughter, because I also have 3 kids, I have two daughters and 1 son. So my son, who's the middle child, he used to be very sensitive with noise, extremely sensitive. And he will cry for no reason. He would just cry. And for the life of me, I did not understand what I did wrong to make him cry. He would cry for hours. And I thought, I'm going to lose a casket. because I didn't know what was going on. And so I started finding ways to calm him down with water, running water, or putting music and things like that. And as I started experiencing different things, I was able to calm him. But he would just, it didn't matter if it was at the store, if it was home, he would just start crying for no reason. And it was no way for me to calm him. And quite frankly, I never went to the doctor to ask if he had any issues or whatever, but I can tell that he was he was a sensitive kid. He was different. So definitely he was neurodiverse. And I just didn't, want to put a label to it at that point. I refused. Even my 11-year-old, she did the same thing. She was extremely very sensitive and will cry. Her daycare provider will call me and be, I don't know how to calm your child. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just give her something or put water or put something, and then she will come, or she will just cry the whole day until I come pick her up. It was the craziest thing. They're difficult to calm down, especially when they get into that moment that,
Yeah, and every human is different. Every kid is different. Like maybe how they're experiencing the world.
Yes.
What is sensitive. Yeah, like all of my kids are sound sensitive, even my like neurotypical kid. So we just bring noise canceling headphones like everywhere we go, and it makes life a little easier. So yeah, but things like that can make, once you kind of understand the why and you know how to help it, instead of like struggling with it or being about it, or blaming yourself about it, right?
Oh yeah, I did blame myself for a couple of times. I used to think I was not. I didn't know I was like, what's going on? I already have a child. Why can't I manage this child? And it was a time where I would feel like giving up, because I was like, I see why people get into depression when they are parents, because you don't know what to do with your child, right? And people will say,
exactly when I come in and I understand
but I had to find ways.
Seems like overwhelming.
Yeah. But you see, I had to find ways to calm myself down so I can be there for them.
Yeah.
And that was the only way it will work. And which leads me to ask you, what are some signs or patterns that can help a parent recognize that their child's behavior might be linked to neurodiversity rather than defiance or stubbornness?
Yes. So I honestly would never attribute behavior due to stubbornness or defiance, ever. Whether kids have like are neurodiverse or not, I always assume when my kids or someone's kids are having a hard time, that this kid is doing the very best they can right now with the tools they have available.
Correct.
And yes, maybe they're having a meltdown because they asked for the blue cup and I gave them the blue cup, right? Maybe they are, upset about something else that doesn't make sense to my adult brain. And maybe they were fine 2 minutes ago and now they're a mess.
Yeah.
This is still like the best they can do. So I do find if we label kids as like stubborn or lazy or defiant, that like changes us as adults.
Okay.
Because then we're gonna those thoughts are gonna make us feel maybe more punitive or more frustrated or more angry, right? If you think that thought, he's being defiant, he's doing this on purpose to me, like that makes I feel the anger in my body when I think that. Whereas if I think, man, my kid's having a really hard time right now, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
That puts me more in like compassion and curiosity. And I'm always going to come up with a better response when I'm feeling the curiosity.
Yeah.
Versus the frustration.
But when the parent is so frustrated though, and they can't, find the middle ground of that compassion, what are they to do? What can they do? Should they go out and scream and then come back in? Like, what would be the strategy at that point for them?
Yeah. So if you are in the moment, and you are already kind of escalated, and you are feeling like yelling or you're yelling, like often parents in that situation, especially parents with limited support, are like literally in fight or flight.
Yeah.
So like this is your autonomic nervous system taking over. And for that, it may be why you feel like you're out of control or you don't know why you keep doing it. It can just more be like an unconscious body reflex.
Okay.
Where that fight instinct comes out, or maybe that flight instinct comes out. And so in those moments, you have to like recognize it as soon as possible, and you have to do a little reset.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not really a way, like when you're in fight or flight, you can't think or use your logical brain.
Mm-hmm.
So the most important thing to do is to take a little reset. And so screaming is great. I like screaming into pillows. That can be very effective. Everyone's nervous system is different too. So there's like a lot of different strategies you can use. And kind of even like we were saying with like kids' sensory stuff, like every system is different. Everyone's nervous system is different.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different things that nervous systems like to do. So sometimes like different deep breathing or like a physiological sigh, that can really help in the moment. I like to do like a silent scream sometimes where you just like, you like tense your body and scream. Yeah, you guys can't see us, but we're like pretending we're screaming, but not making.
We're screaming here.
Yeah, that could help kind of release that energy.
Yeah.
So something to kind of get your nervous system back into calm, because when we're in fight or flight, we're not available for connection.
Yes.
We're not able to use our logical brain or make good decisions. Even if we know exactly what to do, we can't, because our body physically won't let us.
Yeah.
And so taking a second, sometimes, if the kids are old enough to be unsupervised, I'll say I have to go pee. Like most kids will let you hopefully pee in peace for a second if you can, right? Or I just need to go grab something in the other room.
Yeah.
And then when I am in the bathroom, if I get to do it in peace, I can take care of myself. I can do whatever strategy I want to regulate my nervous system. Then go into the other room real quick, do a nice silent scream or scream into a pillow or whatever. You can also do some of the strategies with your kids. So you can try this out, but often, especially if you're feeling angry or frustrated, you have to like move it out of your body.
Yeah.
So sometimes like stomping your feet or running or doing push-ups can help. And that can even kind of diffuse a tense situation with your kids if you just, have a push-up contest really fast. And so then that can or if you just like run around and you burn off that flight instinct and get the kids to run around, and now we're all just like tired and running and laughing versus yelling and crying.
It's funny. I usually will say, Lord, give me the strength. Just give me the strength. That's what I do. I would say, Lord, give me the strength. Or I will say it loud, and I will say, peace be still. Peace.
Yeah.
And I would tap my heart a little bit a couple of times. And then I say, okay, great. Now I'm ready. Let's do this.
I love that. Yeah. Anything to keep you, just to be able to kind of be present in the moment, grounded.
Yeah.
Able to use your prefrontal cortex and make good decisions to handle the behavior versus just kind of reacting.
Right. So basically that was kind of like tapping into the survival mode that parents should be able to calm down when there is chaos, right?
Yeah.
And stuff. So when emotions are running that high, perhaps during a meltdown or stressing day, we talk about taking a couple of steps of figuring out, maybe screaming, right? Screaming under the pillow, maybe stumbling your feet, maybe, whatever works for you, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about those other single parents that don't have another adult to tag in when things get intense. How can they protect their energy while being fully present for their child? How can they do that?
I think so. In the moment, the things that we just talked about can help.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the magic is really just like in general, like setting up your life so that you are really taking great care of yourself. So that way you have the energy. I think so often as moms, we put ourselves last. Like we don't sleep until everything is done, and it's never done. So we never sleep, and we just like eat leftovers and like basically trash off our kids' plates. And that's how we're fueling our body. So one of the biggest switches is like, it's kind of like on the airplane where they say, if the oxygen changes, the mask will come down, and put your mask on first before you put it on your kids.
Yes.
This is essential for parenting, especially when you are the one adult because it's something on.
Correct.
Like you don't have the luxury of not taking care of your physical health. You have to be sleeping and eating and exercising. That is what's going to help you show up for your kids. That's what's going to help that's going to help your emotions the most. Like that's one of the biggest things that we can do.
Yeah.
But often we say, oh, I can't. My kids, has autism, so I don't have time to work out. No. You need to work out twice as much.
Yes. Yes.
And so those kind of habits, adding those to your day and just being creative in how to make them happen.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge difference.
So how can parents build emotional connection with a neurodiverse child who may not show affection or communicate in typical ways?
Yeah, I think connecting with any kid is about knowing that unique kid.
Yeah.
And so, some kids can't tell you or maybe, can't communicate as well, but there's still things that they like.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's knowing your kid and what makes them happy. So like one of my kids loves all the hugs and all the praise and, so that's what I do. Another one of my kids recently, like I used to always go and just like rub his back if he was like sitting at the table and he does not want to be touched. Like now he's like, oh, like
how old now? How old?
Now it's his 12th birthday today.
Oh yeah, that's the time. Ooh, it's ew.
Oh, yeah, I'm showing love for him, and I almost wanted to be like, "Hey, I'm your mom. I can rub your back," and I'm like, "No, I can't."
Yeah.
Right? He is not. I want to show him love, but this is not how he's receiving love.
Yeah.
So instead of me staying the same and forcing something that makes him uncomfortable on him, I'm changing what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to change the habit, and now I will ask him.
Yeah.
Hey, can I rub your back? And he usually says yes.
Okay.
And so that's the moment, right? If I just go up and start rubbing his back and he jerks away from me, that's the moment of disconnection.
Yeah.
I'm connecting the way I want to connect, not the way he needs me to connect with him. But if I ask and he says yes or no, and I respect his no, then we're like adding connection.
Correct.
So I think the same kid also loves to talk about Roblox and Dungeons and Dragons, and he goes into very detail.
So your kids are also into Roblox because that's the conversation in this house. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
So much, and I don't understand a lot of it, even though I try. But like that's his main way of wanting to connect with me.
Yeah.
So, if I was not a parent, if I was not his mom, I would be zero interested in it. But I love him, so I work hard on being interested in the things that he's interested in. Whatever we've had Pokemon, like we've had lots of phases, right? Whatever he's into, I am into it because I want to connect with him.
Yeah.
And it's my job to match his interests versus his job
to match your interests. Correct. Yeah. So some parents feel hurt or rejected when their child avoid touch or eye contact, just like you were saying. And of course you already gave. So I wanted to ask the question of how can they reframe these moments with more compassion and understanding? And you actually already touched on that because you said, for example, with your son, you used to like to go and rub his back, and now he doesn't want you to do that unless you ask permission to do so. Yeah. So for those parents listening, then instead of just doing it the way you used to do, start asking them what they would they like you to do those type of things for them. And I think that will possibly, and probably correct me if I'm wrong, will recreate that correct connection that they are lacking at this point, right?
Yeah. I think as parents, we kind of get a choice, right? Like in my situation, I have a choice. I could choose to take that very personally.
Yeah.
I could choose that like it's something that I've done, or if he doesn't love me enough, or where have I gone wrong, or why doesn't he love me enough to just let him run it back, right? Like that's a path that's available to me that I could choose.
Yeah.
That I find that is a very unhelpful path, and those are a lot of untrue thoughts. So I get to pick a different path. And my path is everyone receives love differently.
Yeah.
Everyone experiences touch differently. I am the adult and I always want to love him the way he wants to receive love.
Correct.
And so I am willing to love him in this way by very simple, just asking to rub his back. I'm not taking it personal. I don't think it means anything about me, anything about our relationship. That's just what he needs right now. And it's like my joy to do that while talking about Roblox forever.
So what are the simple everyday ways parents then can nurture connection even when the day feels messy, overwhelming? How can they, nurture that connection with their child? Just the simplest ways.
Okay. I like to, I send this to my clients. I send them like little beads, like fish tank beads. Or marbles or whatever, or you could do it with coins or paper clips or whatever. And I send them a little jar.
Yeah.
And so you can do this at home. Pick like how many moments of connection you want with your child that day.
Yeah.
Okay. If multiple kids, how many, right? Maybe it's just 3. I want 3 moments of connection with my kids every day. Like if you said every day, that's wonderful. And then you put 3 paper clips in one of your pockets in the morning. And then during the day, you just look for those times of connection.
Yeah.
So maybe that is like when you're doing something like, hey, mom, look at this. I'm like, I kind of want to keep doing this. But I'm like, wait. This is going to be one of my connection times. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put this down and I'm going to help you. Right.
Yeah.
Not every time because I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I can do that 3 times. Right. I can listen to whatever they want to tell me about. I can play the game I don't really want to play. Like my goal is just to get in that 3 times or 5 times or 10 times or 1 time.
Yeah.
And then when I do, I move it to the other pocket. Or I like give my clients a jar and they can put it in the jar.
Yeah.
And then you can look over time at all the little moments of connection grow and build up.
Yeah. You know, I have one thing that I do for my 11-year-old, because the other 2 are already grown and kind of out in college and stuff. But with her, it's just me and her now, is I tell her when she comes to school, I say, you and I are going to have 5 minutes of conversation. You come, you sit down, we have that 5 minutes of conversation. Tell me about your day. Tell me all the juicy gossip at your school.
Yeah.
You know, I listen. I don't judge, of course.
Yeah. No, we don't judge. Yeah.
We listen, we don't judge. So I listen 5 minutes, and after the 5 minutes, I need my time back. You go do what you have to do. I go do what I have to do. And in between time, she's a hugger. She loves hugs. She loves touch. She loves all those things. And she'll come to me and say, Mom, can I hug you? And I'm like, I just already gave her 5 minutes of my time. Why does she want to come hug me at this point? I have things to do. But I have to remind myself that that's how she connects with me. And if she feels like she needs that hug, even if those gave her the 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and give her that, you know, that hug. Even if I don't want to, you know, I'm not really in the mood of that hug. I still say, fine, come on, let's get it in. And, you know, we get the hug and then she goes. So I think, to your point, parents should find ways that works for them, right? That would bring those simple moments of joy. And I like the jar idea to put those.
But I feel like it's okay. Like you just do your best. Like we're all human. We all have a lot of stuff to do. And like some of our kids want our attention 100% of the time. And that is not always humanly possible. And there's no need to feel any guilt or shame about that. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do the best we can. And that can be enough.
So let me ask you, actually, not tell you. Confidence can be a challenge for single parents, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we lack confidence in our parenting, you know, style and stuff. How can parents rebuild their confidence while raising a neurodiverse child, especially when they are raising one and they're losing their confidence?
Yeah, confidence comes from believing that you know what to do and that you can handle it.
Yep.
So it's like, it's really not a feeling you can wait for.
Yeah.
It's a feeling that you can create.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Some of us wait our whole lives to feel confident. And if you wait till you feel confident to do something, you'll like never do it. Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if you waited till you were like 100% sure you could have a successful podcast, you never would have started the podcast. Right. Most of the big things in life are accomplished by people that are like, I don't know, let's try this.
Yes.
Like,
let's do it.
For the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So some of it is just like, not like you're believing lies, but like, I do have moms come to me all the time. Like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I started with a new client this week and she was like, I don't even know what to do in these moments. Like, you know what? Like, the truth is you do know what to do.
Yeah.
And you've been doing something.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not your favorite. And we're going to work on, like, her reaction is more to, like, yell or shut down. So, like, we're going to work on giving you better things to do. But you know what to do. No one's, like, dying right now. You're not like turning into a statue doing nothing, right? So you know what to do, and you just want better things to try.
Well, she came to you, which means she knows what to do. She came to you to seek help. That's already one thing.
That's where the confidence comes from.
Yes,
right? Like let me tell you, this is exactly what you do, girl. Like you know now.
Yes.
So yes, if it is available, so you come to me, and I will tell you exactly. My business is called Confidently Momming. That's what I help parents know. No matter what my kid is doing, I know exactly how to respond. And that is just the best feeling in the world, the best place to parent from.
Yeah. So you often talk about trusting your instinct as a parent. right? What does it mean to truly trust yourself in this journey of being a parent, of parenting, especially when you're parenting neurodiverse children?
Yeah, I think that's actually like tricky, like trusting your instinct.
Yes.
In some ways, like, yes, like my clients like come to me and they already know so much. And I can just help unblock them and give some tweaks and they come up with so many of their own answers that are right.
Yeah.
But also sometimes our instincts are maybe like how our parents raised us. Like our instinct might be to yell. Our instinct might be so like we need to separate out what's more like the hurt or the trauma or like the reactive instinct versus like what our mom gut is telling us and what our mom gut and what our mom gut knows to be true.
Yeah. So advocating for a neurodiverse child in schools or public system can be intimidating. How can parents find a voice or stand firm in what their child needs in school to help them?
Yes. Yeah. I think that I have two, like I said, I have two neurodiverse kids that I get to advocate for frequently at school. And they're both doing great now, but it has been a journey of lots of advocating. And it's hard for me, even though I have done this for 20 years and I've like sat on the other side, I've worked for school districts and sat on the other side of the table. And then now I'm on the parent side. So I want to acknowledge that it can be really hard and intimidating. But first, there's so many resources. There are so many usually local IEP resources, special needs networks, like any community usually has some kind of free support that like help parents navigate all of these systems. And so it's definitely something where you want to try to learn as much about it as you can. And I have found, so for sitting on both sides, the school side and the parent side, is like viewing it as a team is everything. If we come in to a school and we're automatically assuming that they are bad and they don't like they're trying to cheat us or they don't like our kid or we're like that's not going to work. We have to really try to foster like a teamwork environment with the school as us being the expert in our child, but also them being the expert in education. And so I like with my kids, I try to be so thankful. I like try to notice everything. I'm like the most appreciative parent. Genuinely, I genuinely want to help out. I do as much as I can. If I can donate or help out, like emails, I'm like thanking them. I like really want to be part of the team and help out. But also I am the first one to say something and speak up if my kid needs something and it's not happening. In a very respectful way of like, how can we solve this versus like, you guys are bad, you need to solve this. So when I worked at a school, it was very clear. Some parents just came in and you could tell they just hated whatever anyone from the school had to say. And so it was hard to come together as a team. It was very like, so much time was wasted fighting while the child was not getting what they needed. And I don't want to waste time. So if you can, as much as you can, be collaborative, it gets everyone much farther.
And that's a great insight because my daughter is 11 and when she was 5, it was during the COVID time that I noticed that the way she learned is not the same as anybody else. And I really found myself frustrated because every time I would teach her something and then I'll come back 5 minutes later and she's forgot everything. And I'm like, how is that possible? I just taught you this. So I eventually went to her teachers. I sat them down and I called a meeting. And I said, listen, I need to have a conversation with you guys. This is what I have observed if it comes to my child. And I think that it's time for us to put a plan of action in place for her. She's in kindergarten right now. And I think if we can put this plan in action right now, each year, I can come to you guys and we can continue with this plan or improve on this plan. Then I can see how my daughter can be successful later on. Right. And each year without fail, I'm always in that school and I'm always having a conversation with her teachers and I'm letting them know this is what I have observed. This is what's going on. And this is how she has improved. And the last meeting I had with them, they actually told me, they say, well, right now we're weaning her off this program that you put her under. We think that she's already at a level where she can actually handle everything herself. And I'm very proud of her because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about all of this. But although they're telling me this, the mom, I still have this sense of protection of making sure that she's going to get what she's getting what she needs to be successful, right? And I'm saying, okay, this is middle school now. She's going to be going to high school soon. I have to make sure that in high school, she's actually maintaining the pace before I can remove my hands and say, oh, she's good now. She can do this on her own. But to your point, I think that parents, they need to advocate, they need to speak up, but they need to work in collaboration with those teachers because they are the one that are with your kids more time than you are as a parent. And they are the one that are interacting with the kids, and they actually are the one that see how your kids is learning more than you.
Yeah, and they see a different version of your kid.
Yes, you see the house version, they see the outside version, right? Because it always something when I go and they say, "Oh, your daughter is so wonderful." I'm like, which daughter?
Yeah, and that's so normal for kids to do super well at school, but then have then they're a mess with the people that they trust and are most comfortable with.
Yeah.
So that happens. I'm like, come be a mess with me. You're safe to be a mess with me.
Right.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing well at school, right?
That means they're listening to your teachings, right? When they're in school.
Yeah, you're safe here to be a mess.
Yeah. So you teach families to shift from fixing behaviors to understanding needs. What does that shift look like in real life situations?
Yeah. I will give you an example. I was just coaching a client yesterday, and one of the main behaviors that she was struggling with is her daughter, whenever she would ask her daughter to do anything, the daughter would basically just like roll around on the ground and say, I need help. And like yell it. Like she sent me videos of this poor girl repeating, I need help, I need help, I need help. So the mom was like, okay, I think she wants my attention. So the mom was trying to like walk away and like not really attend to it. And then they would get frustrated and then they would end up throwing her stuffed animals away because they didn't know what else to do. And so we were talking about it and I was like, it could be attention because usually if kids don't brush their teeth for a long time, we like have to help them more. But another reason, it's like not everything is for attention. Like another reason is like sometimes we just don't want to do things and we want to like procrastinate from doing things.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she's doing it. I'm like, this sounds like she might actually just trying to be like, try not to do the task. But then you're walking away to not give her attention. So now she's getting out of the task for like 10 minutes all the time. Every behavior our kids are doing, it's working for them.
Yeah.
We are accidentally paying them to do that bad behavior.
Correct.
Accidentally. And so it's so powerful to recognize that. And so I gave her this coaching. I was like, hey, what I want you to do today is if she just tell her, if you want help with anything, if you ask me calmly, I will help you right away. But if we're melting down, then we're not going to help you. So she set her daughter up and her daughter was like, Mom, can you please help me dry off? And her mom was like, yes, thank you so much for asking, and dried her off. And then the little girl did the whole rest of the bedtime routine all on her own, very happily.
Wow.
Whereas before, it would have been a 10-minute tantrum just to dry off. And then every other step would have been a struggle. So this mom was like in tears how happy it went. And it depends on the why though. So if this is you listening and your kid's having this meltdown, the why they're doing it might be different.
Yeah.
Or someone like me comes in because I can really pinpoint that for you.
Yeah.
Because if it was a different why, I would give you a totally different intervention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the why really matters.
Well, thank you. And finally, for my final question for you, what message would you like to leave for single parents raising neurodiverse kids who might be feeling exhausted, isolated, or unsure of what to do next?
Yes. If that is you, I just want you to know that you are a great parent and your kid is so lucky to have you. And it doesn't have to be this hard. Like, I would love to come in and support you. There's lots of support that is available out there. But I literally teach my clients in this exact situation how to stop being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
How to like keep the kid and keep all the things and then feel like it's easy to manage it instead of drowning. And so that is available to you and it's easier than you think.
So how can listeners find you?
Yes, I am on Facebook and Instagram at Confidently Momin. And you can also go to my website, which is www.melissaschultz.com. Schultz is SCHULZ. And on there, you'll see a button to book a free consultation. I do a free 1-hour call with any family who's considering working with me. And this call is amazing because you're going to tell me what's going on with your kid. There's a never judgment for me. And I'm going to help you figure out that root cause of what's happening. And then we'll see if my program is the perfect fit to solve it. And if it's not, no problem. If it is, then wonderful, your problem is solved. But I offer that to anyone. And so you can get that on my website. I also have a free e-guide, How to Get Kids to Listen, which everyone wants that, right? Yeah. So you can download that right now.
Freebies.
On my email list. I do different free events, webinars, pretty much once a month. And so then you'll be the first to know about all the different events that I have going on.
Okay, great. So I'm going to add all that information on the description of this podcast anyway. So if you didn't get the information while you were listening, you can actually just copy paste on your browser from the description of this podcast. So Melissa, thank you for sharing your wisdom, your compassion, and such a grounded sense of hope with us today. You have reminded us that parenting, especially parenting a neurodiverse child, isn't about perfection. It's about connection. Your insight have given so many of us permission to breathe a little deeper, to release some of the guilt, and to trust that calm doesn't come from controlling every moment. It comes from understanding ourselves and our children more deeply. To all our listeners, I see you. I know how hard you are trying, how often you question if you are doing enough, and how easy it is to feel alone in this journey. But please remember, you are doing an incredible job. Every small act of patience, every deep breath you take before responding, every time you choose connection over control, it all adds up. Those moments are shaping your child's sense of safety, belonging, and love. Even on the hard days when nothing seems to go as planned and you feel like you are barely holding it together, your consistency, your love, and your presence are making a lasting difference. And as we close today's episode, I want to leave you with this beautiful reminder from Melissa. This doesn't mean you never lose your calm. It means you know how to find it again. Take that with you this week. Give yourself grace when things feel messy and know that growth for both you and your child often happens in the middle of that mess. Until next time, keep rising, keep thriving, and remember, your child doesn't need a perfect parent. They just need a present one. Ciao now.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We feel you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. Stories of triumph, stories of grace. Single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. We push through the stigma, defy every step. They don't define us, and that's a fact. A village of love, a future so bright. Hand in hand, we own our life. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. The journey is